Hi guys, Darth Deuce here with another action figure review. Today taking a look at a couple of Marvel Legends. This is the Thor Ragnarok 2-pack with Scourge and Hela. This is the main 2-pack out of like the MCU 2-packs that were coming out lately. And even just all the 2-packs that are coming out in general, this is like one of the ones I wanted the most. And I actually already have the previous Hela. For some reason that old Hela is getting actually pretty expensive for some reason. But now I have this new one, and I gotta say, I didn't think that I would care so much for this Hela because it's pretty much just repaint with some new accessories. But it's amazing how a little thing can go a long way to make the figure so much better. Because this Hela is the definitive MCU Hela now. It blows. The old one's still pretty good, but it blows the old one out of the water, which is saying something because that's one of my favorite MCU figures. And Scourge is also really great. Also definitely want it for him. So I guess first off, take a quick look at Scourge first. And Scourge is pretty cool, portrayed by Karl Urban, who's a great actor. I really like him as an actor. And did a good job portraying Scourge in the movie. I'm not the hugest fan of this take on Scourge, but he was still entertaining in the movie. Probably one of the more entertaining characters. So, yeah, I really like him. And the figure's really well done. The head sculpt and face printing looks great. Really does look like Karl Urban, or pretty damn close to it at any rate. Looks great. He has like little scarring or whatever going on around the eye, which is cool. The armor is really nice. It has this nice blue metallic sheen to it, and the silver detailing throughout looks really nice as well, along with some gunmetal grayish sort of colors. And this almost brown burgundy sort of color for the undershirt and whatnot looks really good. And all the surface detail and the sculpt looks fantastic. And the boots look really good and all that. Looks really great, as you can see for yourself. Articulation wise, this guy's got all the basic Marvel Legends articulation. You got the ball joint of the head, which I wish pivoted a bit more, but it doesn't. Rotate, and you got the disc hinge. You look really far up, really far down. A torso ball joint, so you can get a lot of range of movement there. No swivel at the waist as far as I know, though. Ball hinge of the shoulders. The shoulder plates are on this bit of a hinge joint, so they move out of the way a little bit, and they're also made of a somewhat softer plastic. You get the arms about that far. So we'll at the bicep, double hinge at the elbow, which moves pretty good, and you got this rotation at the wrist as well as a hinge in and out. Spread, the armor is made of a soft material. He spreads about that far, kicks forward about that far, which is pretty good. Rotation at the thigh, good double hinge in the knee, and hinges at the ankles, which actually move pretty decently far up, which is pretty nice, down, and rotates. So this guy's got some good articulation. You get him some pretty great poses, so that's awesome. In terms of accessories, he comes with a decent amount of accessories. First off, he does come with the Executioner's Axe that Hela gives him. It's just molded in black, but it's got some nice sculpted detail, which is really cool. And he can hold it really well in his grippy hands that he has here. So you can get him holding it in one hand, you can get him holding it in two if you wanted him to. The articulation definitely lets you get some cool poses with the axe, so that's really cool. And then you also get a pair of trigger hands. They'll plop in here right now. And the hand swapping is easy and they clip in really nicely. You get two trigger hands, and if you watch the movie, you know what that's for. It is for the two M16s you get. They're just molded in this black, but they're sculpted really nicely. They look like actual guns, which is great. This is Des and Troy, because when you put them together, they destroy. So yeah, you can hold these also really well. You can just loop it through the trigger finger. Like so. And there you go. You got him wielding Des and Troy, which is awesome. It's really awesome. I always like that idea of like Asgardians and like people who are really powerful and don't need to use guns or stuff like that still use them. I think that's really cool. Alright, so now we will move on to Hela. Alright, so here's Hela, and I already really like the old MCU Hela, but I thought I was going to like the Scourge figure more in this set because he's a brand new figure as opposed to this one, but I think I actually prefer, out of the two, I really like this Hela figure more. She's fantastic. It took an already great figure and made it even more awesome, basically making it a bit more accurate, adding more cool accessories. I don't got much to complain about, really. As you can see throughout the whole figure, It's the same body mold completely. It's just repainted, so the green is a lot more metallic, which looks awesome, and the black is a lot darker black, so it contrasts with the green, and the black contrasts a lot better and looks a little more accurate to the actual film costume, which looks fantastic. You still got the cape here, but it has some black paint on the top now, and it's completely metallic green, which looks fantastic. And she comes with 3 different head sculpts, which are all more accurate and all look fantastic. The one she comes packaged in with, which is her like crown sort of head sculpt, it's a lot more accurate to the old one, and I'll show that off in a moment. It looks great. The glossy black looks fantastic. All the horns and whatever look really good. The expression's really good, like she's fighting or something, which looks really great. And just a quick look at the actual figure. Looks really good. Still got the gripping hand and the open palm. And that green just looks so good. The green on the black just looks fantastic. I absolutely love it. Yeah, so it looks pretty damn good. I really like the look of this one. Before I show you the extra head sculpts and all that jazz, actually I'll run through the articulation real quick and then I'll compare. You got the ball joint, the hinge on the neck, and it moves really good. Ball hinge of the shoulders, which on this are actually a little tight because I think there's a piece of plastic not supposed to be there, but they move decently. You have single hinge of the elbows. I wish they were double hinges. They move about 90 degrees, and you have an in and out wrist and swivel, and up and down and swivel. Ball joint at the torso. Ball joints at the hips. On my old one that I got, mine were loose on my old one, but these ones are nice and tight, but not too tight, which is awesome. So that's really good. They tighten up the quality control on this one. Swivel cut the thigh, double hinge knees, and hinges at the ankles. So good articulation. Nothing too crazy, but you can get some decent poses. And yeah, looks great. So now before we get on the accessories, I will give you a comparison to the old one. Just going to swap the heads on the old one real quick. There we go. So here's the old one, and here is the new one. Yeah, I mean, the old one is still really good. Like, it was still pretty close to accurate in terms of the colors and all that, but as you can see, the black, the green is in different spots at some parts, like on the chest there, it's like all green, and here's black where it should be. The green isn't as shiny and not as pronounced on the old one, and that sort of stuff, so this one still doesn't look bad by any means, but yeah, this one looks way, way better, and my video is definitely not going to do it justice, but yeah, as you can see, those head sculpts as well. This one's cool looking, but I think it's based on concept art or something. This one looks way better. The only thing I will say is that the old one does come with the sword, and this one didn't come with any swords, which is a bit unfortunate, but I'm not too broken up about that, because I'm not going to display him with the sword anyways. So in terms of the other head sculpts, you get the sort of straight hair head sculpt, which I think might be my favorite out of the 3. It just looks really nice, and that Kate Blanchett likeness and printing, I think, looks fantastic. The bright green eyes look great. Oh man, I love this head sculpt. I love all of them. This one's fantastic. I love it. And then here's the one where she's first released from her prison. She got all the messy hair, and she catches Mjolnir, which also looks fantastic. Speaking of catching Mjolnir, you also get an alternate right hand, which has her holding Mjolnir and crushing it, which is a really awesome accessory. I know there's a lot of people want to recreate this, but you got all the cracks and Mjolnir and all that look awesome. My only complaint is that the Mjolnir itself is actually pretty small. I don't have a Mjolnir on hand to show, but you can't remove it from the hand either, but this one's actually pretty small. It doesn't bother me too much because it still executes the posing effect that you want, but it is a little small. And then lastly, for Hela's accessories, you do get this little orange translucent effect piece that we've seen on multiple magic users and all that. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to recreate the eternal flame, and you can just kind of wrap it around her hand. And I actually really like this accessory. I wasn't expecting to kind of like it as much, but I actually really like it. It wraps around the hand really nicely, and it really looks like kind of how it did in the movie. So you can recreate her wielding the eternal flame, and it looks really, really cool, which is awesome. Lastly, before we end here, I'll do one last quick comparison. Actually, I'll do a quick comparison with the old unmasked head sculpt and one of the new ones. This one's still pretty cool. I like having this one. I don't know if her hair would ever look like this in the movie, though. Kind of, I guess, I don't know, but it still has a really great likeness, but I think these new ones are so much better. You know, they did something really good and improved on really already a pretty good figure. It just blows me away. Anyways, quickly, I have the Ragnarok Thor. So here's Ragnarok Thor and Hela. They're about the same height. I guess Thor is actually a bit taller, so that makes sense, I guess. Hela herself's a pretty tall figure. The Asgardians all are pretty big, which I like. I think they should be a bit bigger than normal humans and all that, so I like that. Now let's move her out of the way real quick. And here's Thor next to Skurge, and Skurge is a little bit shorter. It would have been nice to get actually Heimdall's sword to come with Skurge, because I think he uses it a little bit to open up the gate or whatever, the Bifrost. But there's already been like 2 Thor figures that have had the Heimdall's sword released with it. I have one, so I can give it to Skurge if I really wanted to. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So overall, I think this is a fantastic set of figures. They're both absolutely excellent. If you're a fan of Thor Ragnarok and you're an MCU collector, I would highly recommend picking this up. It's a fantastic 2-pack. I think they're some of the best MCU figures they've put out. If you have that old Hela figure, I wouldn't say this new Hela, I wouldn't say it's a must-have, but it's really close. Like, it's so much better than the old one. The old one's already really good, and this one's so much better. So I do yourself a favor and pick it up. And you get Skurge, you get an awesome, way better Hela. I think this is probably going to be one of the best ones. This might be the best 1/12 scale Hela. I think it'll be better than the Mezco coming out, just because of the accessories alone. This is a really great set. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.